Pray for our leaders. Saying that makes me feel like a hypocrite. Um, but I'm also ashamed of myself because I think we shouldn't condemn anyone. I mean, I think we we need to accept everyone the way they are, and hope that they someday see the light. We have a lot of politicians in there that are corrupt. Uh, what's a way to fix that? Well, obviously, it's not real easy because they have no term limits. They're in there. It'd be nice to see that change someday. There should be term limits. That's one thing I've always believed. I don't think a person should make a career out of politics, and I think that's part of the problem is they become so complacent with their positions, and then the power, and it overwhelms them. And I think anybody can be overwhelmed. You see it in professional sports athletes, people that come from poor beginnings and they've got natural talent, and all of a sudden they have millions, and then all of a sudden they're broke. I mean, when they get out of their sport or whatever it was, that made them wealthy, they don't have any idea how to handle that money and power, and a lot of them end up right back where they left off, and it's a shame to see it. If they had some financial education, or maybe self control in that respect, things would they'd be able to hang on. I've always said, geez, I could play football for 1 year and then quit for life and do just fine with the money, but it doesn't work that way. It I guess it overwhelms people. And the lifestyle and everything else. And we have to look at these politicians as what they are. They're people, and they're fallible, just like every one of us. Before we condemn them, we have to look and understand what's going on. We know they're corrupt. And they probably know they're corrupt. Maybe it's our job to ask them, hey, could you do the right thing? Could you help us out here? Could you work on our side from now on? Is that possible? Do the right. It would take a lot of courage. It would take a lot of courage for them to change their ways, because they've got so much money telling them what to do. It's almost like I don't even think they get to decide so much. I think they're pretty coerced. I think most politicians are probably coerced into what they do. And it's sad, but I could see that that's probably the problem. If you don't do this, we're going to get you. And people make up stuff. Nowadays it's easy to create a problem. People with a lot of money can do a lot of things. They can make you look like anything they want you to look like. So I can see where it would, it's going to take courageous leaders, politicians, to go against them. It's kind of scary. I think if I was in that position, I'd be scared to death. But maybe it can be done. Maybe they could just say, hey, you know what, enough of this. Maybe we can convince them somehow. If everybody got together and begged them, hey, can you represent us and try to help us out here. I mean, you are our representatives, and you haven't done much for us. This government shutdown is another sign of things crumbling around us. I'm hearing now that people on food stamps and stuff are possibly not going to be able to get them, and I'm thinking to myself, well, wait a minute, we're all paying taxes to that, and that, they're taking our money to give to the people that need it, and now they're not going to get it. So we're really getting out of whack here. It's a little bit, now it's getting a little far gone. In any case, and that's on the news. I mean, that's plain as day. It's everywhere, and in some states it's already happened. In the state I live in, they're saying Monday, as early as Monday, that the SNAP people, which is, I guess, people that get assistance, and there's which is a lot of children here that are not going to have food. So it's disheartening. But imagine if we could get them to stand up for what's right instead of corporate America. I mean, we got to start with our imagination. Then we got to think from that point, how do we do it? Maybe we get some type of platform where we talk to them. It'd be nice, if we had some good speakers out there. I know I'm not one of them, but if we had some that could speak and say, hey, we the American people are begging you to help us out. Start representing the United States of America, the people in the United States of America, instead of corporate America, instead of the banks, instead of pharmaceuticals, instead of all that. Represent the people. And yes, it's I'm sure it's a daunting thing for them, scary as crap. But I mean, imagine how good they'd feel if they just, it would wash their soul. But I think the first step for us is to stop condemning them, because we got to understand where they're at. And I'm included in this because I've condemned them. It's all I do is say they're just the worst people, but they're just people, just like me and you, and they're just people, and they got caught up in something, and it's sad, and it's hard I know it's got to be hard for them, because they're probably stuck, and the only way out is to really defy some powerful people, which I think we all know people end up, if not all of a sudden fake charges or something else, they may end up just disappearing. I mean, I'm sure, there's when people got the money that some of these people have, they can pay to have anything done. So it's got to be scary for them. But, I mean, I think doing the right thing would be better. Sometimes you got to face fear, and do the right thing. We got to get some kind of platform and try to convince them, hey, do what's right. Represent the people. Have the courage to be honest and have integrity, just for a change. I know some of them probably could. I mean, there's some of them that are so far gone, they're 90 years old, and I think some of them probably don't even know what their own name is. They're so old, and they've been in there so long. I don't know if they could be convinced or not, but I'm sure. And all we got to have is a majority of them be convinced, that, hey, let's do what's right. We got to remember, if they know what they're doing wrong, they also have the ability to know what's right. And I'm sure most of them know what they're doing wrong. I mean, they probably they know what most people think of them. They know, that most people just think they're no good. They got to be wondering why. I mean, why would all these people think I'm no good? Probably because you are no good. I mean, you're acting no good. You're a person that's on the no good side right now, but that doesn't mean you can't be on the good side. So somehow, and I'd love to hear anybody that has ideas how to go about doing this. The idea came upon me that, I mean, I think I sometimes I lay in bed at night and I think about people, and uh, and the thing is the word people, that's what they are. They're people, and we got to remember that. So let's just see if we can stand up and maybe try to develop some type of platform to where we can get to them. I got to think about that, how that's going to go, or how that would go. I mean, I'm just a blue collar guy in the middle of nowhere. I mean, got to figure it out. And anyway, in any case, if anybody has any good ideas on how to go about doing this, I'd love to hear the comments. It's right now, it's just an idea, but we also got to remember they're God's creation, just like us, and we have to remember that. We've got to remember that, and they can be redeemed of their sins just like anybody else can. But they have to first want to be. And maybe we can convince them, hey, you've lived like this long enough. Turn around, do what's right. That'd be nice to see. I think it would give everybody a lot of hope if some of them started doing it. I really do. In any case, thank you for listening. I'd love to hear what anybody thinks about this.